Welcome back to Pembertons Farm, BALLAM RD Dairy Farming for episode 9 with me, MrSealyp. It's only 2:15 here at Pembertons Farm. The contractors have left. They are fantastic guys. They've put all the gear, they've taken it back. They've got a little contractor's depot down by the main store. We'll go and have a look at that in a minute actually, because we've got to go down there. I'm going to close the gate. Windrowing is complete, ready for hay baling. I'm not sure when we're going to be doing that, but we will be doing that. Did I say in the video? I can't remember if I said in the last video or not. I remembered my little field, I've got to do weeding. And I've got to finish off that silage contract, silage bale contract I took on. So this is all done. And I'm going to say in the contracting episode, I don't know why, I had a complete and total brain fart. It happens every now and again. I didn't have the help window open, top left. I kept coming over here and saying, I don't understand, I can't understand why I can't see how much is in there, I can't understand. I didn't have the help window open. If I've got a help window open, and it says there, fermenting is at 0 at the moment, but this one is done fermenting. I can open the silo here. Now, the other thing was, and I did some testing on this, I thought I'd have a go and test it, because if it does work, that's amazing. I said in that video, the last episode, that in-game you can't, if you've got a silo like this and say it's open and you've used some, you've got silage in here, the silage needs to be removed before you can refill it again. Unlike real life where you can just put the new stuff that you've cut on, recover it and it will all ferment. I had a message left saying you absolutely can. You have to remove the cover completely and you can put chaff or grass back in, it turns it all to chaff and then you recover it. Well, I've tested it. Well, on console it won't work unless there's a PC mod that allows you to do that, but I haven't been able to get it to work. So, yeah, don't know about that. Unless they were talking about real life, you can, which is what I was saying in the video. In real life, you can. But like I say, I couldn't get it to work on PlayStation. I always say console. I assume it will be the same on Xbox and stuff. But anyway, what we've got to do now, before we do lose light completely, we're going to head off. I'm going to close that down now because I don't need that open. We're going to head down to the store. I do need to take this fertiliser back, so what I'm going to do though, back to our farm that is, I'm going to put the weeder on the front and I'll take the whole lot together. We'll do a little bit of weeding, then I'll get some of those bales delivered. We've got to go up to Homestead Farm, which is up the top again. I've got 81 silage bales that need taking. I'll take what I need to complete the contract, and I'm thinking I'm probably going to just sell them all. Mainly because, well, one, I need the money, but I don't really need the silage bales at the moment, and Pemberton's Farm's got plenty of silage, so I'm going to sell it all. So that's kind of the plan. I think we're going to do that, and then that'll be now before it gets dark, and then the rest of the episode, hopefully tomorrow morning, we're bringing in the cows, because we're going to be into December. The cows need bringing in. Top right it is showing rain is due. Perfect time to be getting the cows in. The ground will get sloppy. It's not great for them. You've got to remember, cows are heavy. You know, they're heavy beasts, and all of their weight is down on three got a three-legged cow, four hooves, which are quite small. It's no different to spreading your weight on ice, that kind of thing, because there's a lot of weight on just four very thin legs. They will sink into the ground much easier. It's not great for the hooves. They get damp, they get muddy, they don't really dry out properly, so we need to bring them in. That's the plan. It's going to take a while. Like I said, I've got a trailer, or Pembertons have got a trailer we're going to use, and yeah, we'll bring them all in. I think we might have to do a bit of reorganisation. I'm going to talk to them, see how we're going to go about doing that. We might try and keep sort of like for like animals in each particular barn, which might mean moving a few things around, or the ones that are in the barns already we'll just leave as they are and we'll just bring in stuff, and we'll try and keep them separated. So the younger animals will be in one, the older will be in another, and the beef stock will be in a third, I think. So coming up, contractor depot. It's alright, isn't it? They've made a home for themselves. Don't know if we'll be using them again at any point soon. We'll definitely be using baling. We'll have a baling contractor coming out. I've had a couple of offers from people, so we'll see. So what I'm going to do now is we need to... Where are we? We need weeders. Oh, there we go. We only need that small one. I mean, it's a 6 metre, but it's the cheapest one that there is sort of standard in game. There are a few others. There aren't that many weeders actually to choose from. That's only going to be 484 to lease. I'm hoping we won't get weeds come back. Like I say, it's one of those weird things I've had. When the game first released, actually I'm going to switch these round. When I first did kind of testing, on some maps I found they worked quite predictably. I know I've said this before. On others they didn't. A couple of times I cleared weeds and then they returned. I got more weeds came back on some fields. It was very odd. I know people say, "Oh, it's really straightforward, it's really easy," and people send me all these messages telling me all these things, and that's great. And I'll just go with what is saying. There are weeds in the field. I'm going to clear them. If they come back, I'll do it again. And we'll just see how we go on. Hopefully we'll be alright. So I'll see you over there in just a moment. The other thing I was going to say was, I don't know, it's always that thing I've said before, focusing on, you might get one negative sort of thing. The feedback, I said, leave it in the comments. I've been through, I've read the comments so far, the last episode. People seem genuinely they enjoyed it. It was fun. I had one left that was a bit kind of, they referred to as multiplayer nonsense. One man's nonsense is another man's fun and entertainment. That's what I say. For the most part, people seem to really enjoy it. I thoroughly enjoyed it, and the game's about having fun, enjoying yourself while you're doing it, and that was great. Yes, it was a bit chaotic. I had a couple of people message say that the editing wasn't as good as usual, and the Let's Play wasn't as good as usual. It's more chaotic. The thing you got to remember is when I'm doing this just me, I know where I am, I know what I'm doing, I know what I'm going to do. So when I come to edit, when I come to do certain segments, I'm more in control of where things are. When there's a lot of people on there's a lot of moving parts, there's a lot of things happening. It wasn't as straightforward. It's not as straightforward. If you're going to stream and just run straight through, you can, but in all honesty, it was just a little bit trickier. It's the first time I've really ever done that. I've done co-op stuff. I've done a lot of co-op stuff with silage, which is still multiplayer, but it was just 2 of us, and that's why I kind of generally have steered clear away from bigger multiplayer stuff. But a lot of people commented to say it was great to see, because a lot of multiplayer games, people come on and just come on deliberately to cause havoc. If you just join a multiplayer game, you don't know who you're going to be on with. But if you're joining a multiplayer game with friends or people you know or people you trust, I realised when I finished that contract, I didn't close the gate here, did I? Left the gate wide open. Sorry about that. And that showed, I think, in that last episode. As I said in the video, people, they just knew what they were doing. They just got on with it. There was no fuss, no muss, no mucking around. I know there were comments about volume on the other people's mics needed to be up higher. I was very unsure whether or not to do that, in so much as I was then worried people would say all we could hear was other people talking and not you. So it's a balance, So what we'll do now, I said I'll see you over there and I'll talk to him, but that's alright. It's what I do. So as you can see to our left, there, 81 bales. I've started collecting some, but I didn't get to the full, didn't collect them all. I'll take one load up, we'll drop them off, and we'll see. A bit like I say, percentage-wise of contract complete doesn't seem to make a lot of sense. I've been looking at smaller tractors. There are a few that have popped up in the used market. I did look at 2 or 3 that I know for a fact are shorter than the Steyr. That John Deere that popped up, the 6R series small, the small frame, is about the same length as the Steyr actually. I thought backing in might be a little bit easier. So that I thought about buying that, but it's not actually going to help me that much. So I was looking at ones that I knew would be smaller and easier. Let's get the lights on completely. Let's get the gate closed and we'll get that done. And then we'll get over to that. And this should work. I'm trying to see where the weeds are. It was showing weeds. If I was using a spray, it'd be spot application. I can't actually see any. Farm dog's going mad. Oh yeah, I've got some over here. We seem to just have a few random ones. So I'll clear them. If we get any more pop up, then I'll release it again and we'll do it again. Let's drop that down. Hopefully they'll go. Anyone into their Star Trek stuff? Season 3 of Picard popped up. Oh my days. I've been thoroughly enjoying that. That's been absolutely awesome. So what I did watch as well on Amazon Prime, on Paramount, whichever one it was, that Strange New Worlds, which is going back to Christopher Pike. That was brilliant as well. The quality of the episodes, it's like watching the films, but on an episode level. The same as Star Trek Discovery. I love all that, and I love Star Wars too. I've had this discussion before, I know. When people say, oh, you're either Star Wars or you're Star Trek. Nonsense. I love them both. I think they're absolutely awesome. So yeah, new series popped up. Brilliant. Looking forward to that. Unfortunately, it's weekly. You know, sometimes you get a series pop up and you can watch them all, just binge watch. We can't. So weeds going. Seem to be working. Excellent stuff. And then, like I said, there'll be that situation with regards to straw for bedding. I think when I do that, it'll probably, I don't know if that'll be the same time, because there'll be a lot of bale collecting. We'll have to go and get straw from wherever Pembertons buy it from. We'll have to get the hay baling done off those 2 fields, and the bales will be loaded onto trailers. That's going to be manual loading, like they do. I'm going to use a little telehandler. We're going to manually load the bales onto the trailer. We're going to bring them back, and I think while I'm using their trailer, if they don't mind, I'm going to whiz up to the property I used to own before I bought this one, because I left that stack of bales up there. I'm going to collect those, so we'll get those as well, and I'll probably bring them back here. We'll bring them back to our little farmyard. Haven't sorted the chickens out yet. That's to come as well. Let's get rid of those. Got a couple of longer, taller standard ones there. I think we might have almost covered the whole thing. I think. Okay, let's have a quick check. We need to go to... where are we? No, that's strange. So I've gone across the whole lot, and that's still showing. If you look top right, it's still showing weeds. I've gone over all of that. Where are they? Look where I'm standing. There's a patch in the middle behind, almost behind where the tractor is. Where is it? That's very odd. Just to my left. Oh yeah, there's a bit there, look. Is that a weed? Looks like it. I think I just need to be a bit more thorough. So I'll see you in a minute then. I'll get these done, and then we'll go over there, get the first load of that done, and then it'll be kind of see you in the morning type thing. Let's weed! I'm in the silage baling field, round bales, 81 to collect. Like I say, I'm only going to do the first run up. Well, I'm going to do all of them, but I'm going to do the first one on camera. And that field doing the weeds, and this is what I'm talking about the weirdness of weeds. I don't understand. I went across that field with the weeder, and I pretty much covered the whole field. I might have missed a couple of bits, to be fair. We go back to the map and have a look. It's now clear. So all those little green bits, top right, where it's showing weeds, have gone. But I went backwards and forwards and backwards and forwards. I went diagonally. I went all different angles. Went over and over and over and over that field, over the green bits that were still showing as showing weeds. I got out of the tractor, went on foot, turned the torch on. I must have gone over that field 15 times before all of the little green bits of weeds went, which is bizarre, because once I'd covered the field once with the weeder, you'd think, that's it, I've done the weeding, the weeds should be gone now, but they hadn't. So yeah, very peculiar. What was this take? 21 or 23? I'm trying to remember now. Certainly make doing 81 bales a lot quicker. It'll only be 4 trips. Oh, this is 24. Yeah, we've got another 3 on there, won't we? So it'll be 3 and a bit. So because I'm going to be selling them anyway, it doesn't matter. I haven't got to worry about working out calculations of how many bales. Hang on, another one. 24. Yeah, I haven't got to do calculations on how many I should have left and how many I'm keeping hold of. They're all going. So we'll sell the lot. The contract pays 26 grand, but I did borrow equipment, so I'll pay a little bit less than that. And what I'm also going to do, I could go back past my little farm there, across the bridge and up the road. But what I'm going to do is cut around the back of the farm and come out on the BALLAM road a little bit further up. So I'll see you up there. We'll offload. Actually, shall I see you? I'll see you when I've done the last of them, and then we know how many we've got. You can see what I'm doing. I've got 24 bales. We're going to be taking loads of 24 bales and sort them out. All those bits of equipment, that's all part of the contract. I just moved them out the way and off the field. Just get the beacons on. So up here, I don't think, I said this before, didn't I? I don't think we've got any cows in the field here. They're all in the barn already. So we haven't got to move any off the field here. It's just on the other side, on the Pembertons farm shop side of the BALLAM road. Yeah, it looks pretty clear. And to be fair, I could have come over here. We could have mowed all of this. We could, you know, I ran out of time. In all honesty, the days just ran away with me. And doing that bit on my own. But again, I could have at any point. The contractors, the guys doing the contracting, did speak to me and have spoken to me and said, look, if you need anything doing, contract work, contract-wise, they're more than happy to jump on and do it. And I know they would. They would absolutely happily jump on and do it. And the cool thing about that is there is that kind of feel, that immersive feel. Because I did even think about, you know what we could do is just have a farm set up and have the guys on here when I'm doing my video as I'm normally doing. But I don't technically, I don't even have to interact with them. They can be doing whatever they want to do, their own thing, their own farming. But it gives you a sense that the map's more alive, that there's farming going on, there's other farms and other farmers doing stuff, you know. Which, again, I think would be quite a nice sort of feel. There doesn't have to be that interaction. The silage harvest was a much more cooperative, team-driven thing, whereas that wouldn't need to be, you know. Or I could come on here and I've done a load of work and I say, oh, look, such and such a farmer's done this, or they've done this, or the contractors have cleared this. I don't know. It's just a different way of looking at things now, really. I'm not saying I'm going to be doing every Let's Play like this, because I'm not. And I'm not saying... I know it's not to everyone's taste, I totally understand that, but I'm... like I said when I started this Let's Play, because of the way I'm playing it, more like the way it is in real life, the way they're doing things in the farming, there's not a lot of scope for production chains and all that kind of stuff without it straying too far away from how it is in real life. So I did say I didn't know how long this Let's Play would be. It might only end up being 15 episodes. You know, I'll do a little bit, help out. I've got to experience and be on the farm, and then we might move on. Oh yeah, Field 21. We didn't get Field 21 done, but that's not a problem either. We got the clamp. There's over 500,000 litres in that silage clamp, so we're all good. If the grass grows through that again, we'll have a double whammy next time we do it. So yeah, it's I don't know what we're going to do. Yeah, that's doesn't like to turn to it, is it? Let's turn it again. Right, like I say, I will see you when we're unloading the last bit, and we'll see how much money we've made. We're on 72 now. There'll be whatever we make on the rest of the bales, and then there'll be the end contract payment as well. So see you in a little while. It might be a little bit dark. No, hopefully it won't be too dark. I'm just trying to think. Maybe not. Right. There you go. I'm bringing the last 9 bales in. The contract completed on my second full load, so 48 bales. I think it took about 45, and then I got paid for the last 2 or 3, I think. So the screenshot you just saw was the third load, full 24 bales, 42 grand, was it 42, 45? And then the bonus, which leaves 9 bales left, which I'll get paid for again, and then there's the contract payment on top. Not a bad return on an investment of time. For doing 81 bales, it took quite a while, but then, like I say, the payout of a 16.5 grand. And then on top of that, bear in mind we were on what, 72,000 or 75,000? 72, weren't we? And then the contract, now it's complete, will pay out 24,000, well, nearly 25,000. So add that onto the amount as well. Not a bad payday, which leaves us in a pretty good position as we move into December. Fingers crossed. I mean, I'm getting by with the Steyr I've got. I could buy that. I could buy that John Deere for 40 grand. Tell you what did pop up on there as well was a Ford. I know it's a Lizard, but it's a Ford. But I think even the discount, that was only something like 12-15% off, and that was 60 grand. But even that, 60 grand, I think that's 100 and might only be 105 horsepower tractor, but that's considerably shorter, not than this, obviously this is a big old tractor, than the Steyr. So I'm going to head back to the farm. I'm done with the baling contract then for the time being. We're going to move into December. In the morning we'll head over to Pembertons, and yeah, we'll start getting the cows in, and then as we move forward, all sorts of cool stuff. Chickens and, you know, I know I keep saying all these things, but there's all the things in my head that I keep thinking, oh yeah, we've still got all this stuff to do. See you in the AM. It's 10:25. We're into December. It's feeling positively Nordic. The sun's just not coming up. I stayed in bed, had a bit of a lay-in. Thought I'd wait for the sun to come up, then we'll head over to Pembertons to help them bring the cows in. And it just didn't get light. I'm starting to panic a little bit. The sun has come up a little bit, not hugely. I am also acutely aware that oh, I forgot about these. I just suddenly thought I was trying to work out which cows need to come in, and I forgot about all that beef stock. Yeah, that's the point. Actually, where should I? Oh, I probably should have parked out in the yard out there, shouldn't I? Oh no, actually, you know what I'll do? I'm going to put in to stop here. So what we're going to do is get them in for the winter. So they'll be in now December, January, February, probably back out March time, I think, something like that. Wait for the weather to improve a little bit. The manure heaps are piling up, regular clockwork. I think they've been mucking out. If we look around here, also I think. That's empty. So yeah, they're going to need to make Turtle Mix ration soon. So we are going to need to get that baling done, hay over, even if we just do hay and silage for Turtle Mix ration. They have bought straw, but I don't know where I've got to collect it from, but I think I'll be doing that at some point, but I don't know where. But yeah, this is really piling up, which is good, because it means there'll be some for fertilising fields and, you know, whenever they need to, I guess. So these ones are the ones that are going to be coming in first. There's a mixture of ages, and this is what I was saying here. What we're going to try and do is match up. It's not going to be that straightforward, because of the mix of cows there are kind of all over the place, really. But I suppose what we need to do is we need to be put on the staff list at Pembertons, and we can check out what's where. I'm going to grab one of their tractors. There is a little bit of a funny story. I'm not going to tell it. I'll see if anyone notices. I didn't. That sounds better, doesn't it? That Hurlimann. Oh dear. Thank you, Goggle Pop. The farm may have accidentally been sent an electric version rather than the version they had. And when I mentioned it in the last video, someone had commented to say about it, and I thought, Obviously it's just a joke because it sounds electric, you know. And Gogglebot messaged said, yeah, I think you have got the electric one, haven't you? Apparently so. Right, so what we'll do, we'll take this round. And by the time I get around there, we should be allowed to. I'm trying to work out how I'm going to do this. So yeah, what I'll do is I'll straighten up and back through the gate here and then swing around on the field. It'll be a little bit easier rather than going out and trying to find somewhere on the main road to turn around or trying to back down that little bit. It's easier just to do it this way. We'll swing round. So, permissions granted. We're on Pembertons payroll for the time being. So what we're going to do, probably could have reversed all the way back up here actually. Let's open the gate. We'll have a look and see what's where and try and marry up as best we can. The beef stuff, that's going to be a little bit trickier. I'm trying to work out what to do with that. Depends on the capacities of each of the sheds. We might have to just kind of split them amongst, unless we leave some of the beef stock out. I'm trying to work out really the best way of doing that. Feed's going to need to be made. We're going to need to do some of that. So we'll get this gate open. And we'll back up into here. Remember where it is. There we go. So in here, this will hold 150. There's 74 in there at the moment. We've got two different lots of Holsteins, some Angus and some Limousine. So what we'll do is, if we check into this menu here, we'll be able to tell. So that's across the road, the bigger beef cattle shed. There's only 20 in there, so we could put beef in that. I'm not sure how many that holds in total, but cow pasture. That's the one across the road that I was saying about. There's only 20 in there. That's all right, so we can move those over. The new cattle shed, that's the one just behind us. That holds quite a few. At the moment, we've got 22-month-olds in there of Angus and Holsteins. The cow pasture I'm looking at now. So 22-month-olds, 16-month-olds, and then we got Angus and Limousine. 22. There's only 5 of each of those. Right, so what we can do is, if we move the 22-month-olds out of this field, we'll put them in the new cattle shed. So all the 22-month-olds are together. And what I'm going to do is probably bring the 16-month-olds out. What's in the side shed? 4 months, so they're the proper calves, aren't they? We'll put the 16-month-olds in the old good shed. So that's the new shed, that's the old but good shed. So we'll put the 16-month-olds in there. The 22-month-olds will come in here with the 22-month-olds in here. The beef stock we could probably put in here. Don't really want to put them across the road. We could probably put them in here, couldn't we? Is there a light switch in here? We've got lights. There are lights, but I'm not sure where the light switch is. Never mind. Right. So it's triggers and things like that. So what I'll do, this isn't going to hold very many though, is it? Just knowing which ones are which. Okay, what should I move first? We'll do the 16-month-olds. Select 6 is the most we can do. Okay, they've moved into the trailer. I'm pretty sure that the point for putting them in, don't worry about closing the gate. If they move into the yard, that's okay. It's not the end of the world. Like I say, in real life, you could, they just walk them through, but we can't do that. I'm sure it's up around here. Put the 16-month-olds in here, but they are going to need feed, aren't they? Oh, blimey, yeah. So later on today, not this episode, but in December, we're going to need to get that hay baling done. Hydra has offered, and Heavy Metal Gaming's offered as well. I'm sure it was this end. Was the Dialog box. That doesn't open, does it, or does it? Of course it does. Yep, alright. See if we can get it to work without me checking it. Oops. Yes, excellent. I got something right. Well, that's the first of mint. Let's go get the next load. So yeah, it's going to be a little bit of moving about, but we'll get them out of the pastures, we'll get them in, and then like I say, the next step's got to be feed then, because whilst they're all inside, I think the pastures are looking pretty good for feed. The new shed is pretty low. That's going to need a real serious top up. So we are going to need to crack on with that. So 16-month-olds, select another 6. Make sure everything's looking okay. Off the fence. It's going to take a while, isn't it? We've got 50 of the other ones at 6 at a time. Whoa, mama. Okay, it's going to take me a while. Okay, not to worry. We'll get it sorted. Right. Once we've got these moved, I'll probably see in a little bit when we start moving some of the other ones into the new shed. And I'll save the beef stock. Is that? Oh, I didn't raise it back up. If there's only 20 in this field, we can put those in. It's the other field. No, there's only 20 in that field, wasn't it? Is that the one I was thinking of? Oh, I've lost track of myself again. This is the cow pasture we're on. Yeah, that big field, there's only 20 in there. So that's only 4 loads, just under 4 loads. 3 and a bit. But I could do 5 at each, and we'll bring those in. But that being said, if they're that side of the road, I might take those over to the other beef shed. Assuming, of course, I've got room over there. It's a complicated old procedure. I suppose, you know, in real life, when you are trying to put them into certain places and certain zones, and you are separating out your animals depending on age and depending on, you know, you've got your dry cows and your cows that are, you know, in calf, and the ones that I know they put little rings on the tails of the cows, so you can kind of get your head around it. But it's like, blimey. It's 10:43. We've got the last 4 cows to clear the pasture, the cow pasture here. It's now empty. The cows are in. That's good. I completely mixed up. I had them the wrong way around. The 22-month-olds, there were less than the 16s. So this is full. 48 out of 48 in here of the 16-month-olds, and I think I had to put a couple in here as well. So the limousines, the Angus are in. Most of the 22-month-olds. So what we'll do now is take the last of these in, if I can swing around and get them in there. Then we're going to head across the road, and we're going to get the beef cattle in from the other pasture and take them over to the farm across the other road. That is the plan. That's what the episode's called, bringing in the cows, and that's what we're doing. So what we'll do is, I'll try forward here. The main problem here is the gates. Got to make sure I get the correct side to close these. I think it's this side I want, isn't it? Yep, close that up behind us. Done. And then we need to swing around to here, I think. Just about there. Let's get those last ones in. Last 4. Okay. They're in. We're empty. Didn't lower it down, did I? It's alright. They managed to jump out somehow. This one I think I need to do this side. There we go. And they're in. I'm sure I'm not missing something, am I? Like I said, I'm looking. There aren't any light switches. I'm sure when I did the map tour I didn't find any. These aren't. Are these on? I don't think they are. It's just because it's very dark, that's all. So what we're going to do, we're going to head up. I could go through the pasture itself. What we're going to do is we're going to turn right into the BALLAM Road, then left off the BALLAM Road, and there's a little corral area they often use. What we're going to do is we're going to back in there. Like I said, there's only 20 on here. I'm going to do. Am I doing 5s? I might as well do 4 runs. I've got to do 4 runs anyway, so I'll do them individually. I could drive straight up through this field the first time, couldn't I? No. We'll do it. We'll do it proper. Traffic? No, we're good. And I'll do the same. We'll take the first load through. I'm pretty sure the bigger of the 2 barns that we've got some in already holds 50. I think there's only, I want to say there's only 20 in there. And then what we'll have to do then is move the 20 from here in. So what I want to do, I suppose what I could do with this one, because we've got a field next door, we've got a bit of swinging space here. So what we can do here, if we open that one, we'll open this one. Alright, there we go. And then this one. Cool. So, I'm swinging, because they're quite long. Then we swing round, back in. Do it properly. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, we're good. Brilliant stuff. Right, so we'll get the first Angus in. We should be able to do 5 of those. Just move them. They're out. Brilliant. In the interest of doing things properly, whereas in the other one they can move out into the yard. Here they're going to end up on the road. We don't want that. I'll see you over at the farm in just a moment. I have to say, I do like, much as it'd be nice if it was a little bit lighter, it does have a great effect. Look at that across there. Stunning. Now I'll be honest, when I get into the yard this side, I'm not quite sure where I've got to unload these. We will find out. Giving the old tractor a bit of a jet whoosh. Right. I'm turning in, that much I do know. Then, so when I was saying earlier, when I was taking the silage bales and I said about cutting the pasture that's out here, big open pasture, we do have silage clamps here. Is it 2 or just 1? It might just be this side. So yeah, we've got, I'm sure it's 20 in here. So we'll sling them all into this one. Where is it? I'm trying to remember. I want to say it's just along here. Even the sun shines on. You know what, some days. And for me, it's that day. Jammy or what? Right. So if I back into the silage lamp, because there's nothing in there. Right, I've got another 15 to bring. I'll see when the last load are in. And that'll be the cows in. Last 5, and that's all the cows in. And then it's going to be a case of winter foddering and all sorts of other cool stuff. Let's just get these done. I have taken on, it's only a small one, a cultivating contract. There are 2 or 3 that have popped up because I've got my little cultivator that I bought. I didn't have to borrow any equipment. It only pays about 2.5 grand, something like that. But it will give me something a little bit extra and something a little bit different to do. But I'm not sure, that might be an off-camera job as well. Right, gates all closed, pastures all cleared. Last 5 coming in. I've got done what I intended to do. That's nice. Makes a change, doesn't it? So I've got my weeding done, got the bales sorted out. That money top right, remember this is Pembertons money, this isn't mine. Mine's at 165, not far off in all honesty. So we're in a very good position. That Ford tractor that I was talking about has been bought. So what I'm wondering, if I can find out who's bought it, maybe I can buy it off of them. I did like that. I mean, who knows? We could move into January and there could be something even more awesome could appear, but you never know. This Hurlimann's fairly short. It's a stubby little tractor, I suppose. Could look at one of those. I don't know. At the moment, my styre's fine. I've got small equipment. Yes, for getting the trailer in and out, it's a little bit trickier. That's why I was looking for a shorter tractor. I tell you what there is. I've just realised as well. There's a little T4 available. And did I mention it already? I'm trying to think if I've mentioned it already. And it's really... You could probably get away with using it for vineyard work, actually. I can't remember if I've got it. If it's available from the store, we'll have a look. I don't think that was too expensive. So, and this will be us job done. We're in. So all my job's done. Let's hop out, close the gate. They're all in. We'll back this up around the corner. I'll just check on the thing to see, and then like I say, what I will do later on today, what time is it? 11 o'clock, maybe this afternoon. Actually, I haven't done either. I haven't checked the weather forecast. How are we looking for the weather? Weather or not? Oh, no snow. That's all right. January, February says it's saying snow, but we've got none due today. Don't think we have anyway. No, we're good. So hopefully later on this afternoon, like I say, not this episode, possibly the next episode, we'll get the hay baling going. It's going to be quite, I say, a fairly bale heavy one, I guess, because we have the hay baling to do and the straw bales to go and collect. And then we'll get some total mix ration made. So yeah, it's going to be winter foddering. That's what we're going to be doing. So the tractor I was thinking of is this one. Little T4 series, which is pretty cool. You can have it open like that. It's really short and stocky, although to be fair, well, 95 horsepower. I'm pretty sure that Hurlimann I'm driving now is only 105, so that's a 96 horsepower tractor. What we're looking at, 52 grand if I go for that. We can change wheel brand and stuff, and you can have it with a cab if you want. You have the ROPS on the back, or you can have a cab, which does only 6.5 grand on if you want that little. I'd have to say I do quite like it like that. Obviously this time of year it's going to be a little bit nippy, but I guess you could put the cab on for 6.5 grand. You can have it with the cab on. Then when you get to the summer, take the cab off. But I quite like the look of that. So maybe we'll do that. This needs to go back to the Pembertons. So what we'll do... Actually, no, I'm not going to go back over the bridge. I'm just thinking this is quite long. We'll go back the way we came. But that is the end of this episode. Like I say, I've got the bits done I wanted to. We are done. The animals are in, which was what we were asked to do, and we have done. I will see you on the next one, like I say, for some winter fodder work. Hopefully we'll be able to get a contractor on to help out. And if not, I'll do the straw bales, but we really do need to. All the windrowing's done. It's just a case of baling it up. Then I need to load it up onto a trailer, and we'll get that done. And the straw doesn't have to be used for total mix ration, but they're going to need it for bedding anyway, because that the old good barn, I don't think there's any bedding or feed in that one, so we need to get onto that realistically some point in the rest of today, the rest of December. So as I said, I hope you've enjoyed it. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.